All right, that was our intro song for today. This Fire by Franz Ferdinand. Oh, apparently my ad block wants money. Interesting. Well, thank you for your service, but no, not right now. So welcome in, everyone. We're going to start the stream today by reviewing Postal Monkey's latest excellent video. Maybe I have a few comments to add and some precisions to bring. So don't really do React content. It's the first time I do that, actually. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought that was a good video I have something to add to the conversation, basically. As opposed to just sitting here and nodding my head in agreement the entire time. Not that I disagree with anything that was said, but further things to say about it. So yeah, let's get going. I guess we got 2 intro songs today. Also Monkeys and mine.
Hey there, Postal here. Hi, long time no see.
Yes, please subscribe.
I am back. Go into detail on my hiatus. I will be streaming this Saturday, October 19th. So if you want to hang out with me then, kind of a back and forth. Today, just going to simply be talking about a new event in World of Warplanes, and that's the Soaring Eagle to try to get Emma Vogel. Emma Vogel is a pilot specific for the Tier 7 German FW-190D, the Dora. It's actually a plane I really enjoy.
I haven't played that plane enough to know whether I enjoy it or not. I did the grind to get to the BVP 212, the tier 8, which I play regularly, but the FW-190D, I played A8 quite a bit. A little bit less lately, but I had a phase. And A5 is one of my regulars to tier 6, right before this one in the tech tree.
So getting this pilot is actually going to be a priority for me because I do like this plane this much, yes. What is this particular set of missions? Well, I feel like this looks like Sarah Connor from Terminator movies. Anyway, it's freaking me out. We've got
Sarah Connor.
20 days to complete these missions. Some of them are going to be slightly easier than others, as they tend to be. My first thing that I'm going to tell everybody that I always mention on any of these mission marathon type settings, especially to get pilots and free planes and things of that nature, is just do what you can. If you get it, that's great, but it's not worth the stress of like doing 6-hour days of trying to get these things knocked out.
I disagree. Quit your job, quit school, dump your girlfriend, do nothing but play World of Warplanes, get the pilot. No, I'm just kidding. So we're clear, I'm kidding.
These I might find very easy to do, even with a year hiatus or however long it's been. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy for everybody. Some of them I'm going to find very difficult to do, and you might find them easy. My point is, try to get some of the free stuff out of it. If you can get Emma Vogel, that's awesome. We'll talk about her at the end of the video. But right now we're going to talk about the missions themselves.
Excellent advice there. My only gripe with this set of missions, and yeah, it's for a tier 7 plane special pilot, so they can't give us too lavish rewards, but it's a little cheap on the boxes side. I think there's 3 boxes and only one really valuable one to speak of, a steel crate. The other ones are going to probably have wet socks in them for 99% of people. So yeah, let's get into the missions, I guess.
Keep in mind, this is tier 4 through tier 10, which is nice. But some of these missions, you're going to want the highest tier you can possibly get, and we'll talk about that right out of the gate. Mission 1 is deal 40,000 HP of damage to aerial targets in any number of battles. Great thing of this is any number of battles. 40,000 HP, though, the higher the tier, the more damage you're going to be doing. So doing this at tier 4 is going to take you forever. Doing it at tier 10 might take you 5 battles, or less if you're really good. Mission number 2. Oh,
My plane of predilection for that specific mission would be the tier 9262 if you have it. Something like a 94 gun rating with proper equipment on it. I've gotten games with over 20,000 hit points of damage, so you could theoretically, if you get the right circumstances, 2 games in a row, you could do it in 2 games. It's possible. Not likely, but you're definitely saving yourself the most amount of time by at least using tier 9 or 10 heavy if you can. If you can't, well, there's plenty of light fighters that are high power, high tier, that can get almost as much damage to aerial targets. The Saber is one of them that gets a lot of damage in the right circumstances. You can get close to 10,000 a game. Yeah, the point is just to go as high tier as possible, preferably in a heavy.
And you get all these different rewards. So this is the focus. This is these cool different rewards. Like you get premium account time, you get premium ammunition, which I think is okay, useless. There's elements and there's all these different things that can be very helpful. Focus on that. Focus on getting a mission at a time. And if you can get all 20, that's great. If you can't, well, at least you got 5 or 10 or however many you got.
Yeah, so the fragmentation ammo is not useless. You'll get more crits, which might give you an additional kill a game, but it's definitely not as OP as most players make it out to be. There's other consumables that provide a much bigger advantage for the same amount of gold.
So mission number 2, earn 65,000 personal points in any number of battles. I'm hoping that takes me like 6 times. It might take you longer. Might take you less. Might take you 3 times because you're that damn good. But it's any number of battles, so don't stress out about it. Mission number 3, destroy 110 aerial targets. Remember, this is aerial targets, so this is defense aircraft, this is enemy aircraft, this is bombing runs. So any aerial targets is going to get you that mission number 3. Mission number 4, earn 5,000 capture points in any number of battles, and you get a standard supply crate out of it, which is always nice. Remember, capture points can be earned by taking over a sector, but also defending a sector if you've lost capture points in that sector. What do I mean? You've completely captured some sort of sector, an airbase, let's say. The enemy starts to capture it back, so you lose some capture points. When you kill an enemy aircraft that's attacking it, you get capture points back. That's actually earning capture points by defending a sector.
All right, so he's making me doubt myself a little bit here, so we'll verify that theory later. But I am almost certain that if you kill an enemy in a blue sector, a sector that your team owns, and the sector is already full, you still get credited the capture points that enemy is worth, namely 40 points for a defensive kill. Of course, the capture points only count towards the progress on the sector flipping if there's already been capture points removed by the enemy team. But as far as your personal count of capture points, they don't have to count towards the game's outcome or towards flipping the sector for them to be added to your personal count. I have the My Precious mod that keeps track of my capture points in real time. It's a heads-up display, so we see it right in the game view. So we'll be able to verify that later. We'll find a situation where we can definitely double-check that. But I'm about 99% sure that's how it works. So we'll see. Not a terribly big difference either way, but yeah, just the precision there.
Keep in mind, though, if the sector is at full capture points and you kill an enemy aircraft in it, you're not gaining any capture points, and so you don't gain any capture points for this mission. Mission number 5, receive the Conqueror Award. This is going to be really nice because you get this extra crew training when you complete the Conqueror Award for mission 5. Mission number 6, nice. Destroy 30 enemy multi-role fighters in any number of battles. Again,
Conqueror is 450 capture points. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Any number of battles. Enemy multi-role fighters, so this has to be the actual enemy aircraft. Multi-role fighters tend to be the largest portion of an enemy team. So
yeah, the typical spread is going to have 2 of each, except multi-roles is going to have 4. So let's say you get a entirely bot team on the other side. It's always, unless you're in a really low tier, it's always 2 of each and 4 multi-rolls. This one looks bad, like destroy 30 enemy multi-role fighters, but I've gotten 10 plus a game. It's possible. So realistically, player of average skill might be able to get like 5-6 a game if they focus on that. But the point also I want to make is not to focus too much on the type of kills you have to get. Like, focus on winning the match first and foremost. Don't be that teammate that goes chasing outside sectors to finish to get kills for a mission. Just get them when it also achieves the purpose of winning the game. Don't sacrifice the odds of winning a match to complete missions. The missions will complete themselves fast enough eventually that you can get the pilot if you play a couple hours a day for the 21 days that the mission is going on. You don't need to like sacrifice anything. Absolutely not.
So that's going to be, helpful at least. Mission number 7, deal 800,000 HP of damage to ground targets in any number of battles. This could take forever.
Yeah, that's a doozy. Ideally, you have a tier 10 bomber or GA you can do that in. Otherwise, RIP.
If you're going at tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, just takes forever because you're not doing as much damage. Even at tier 10, really good pilots, are going to do 100,000 HP. And that's if, everything lines up perfectly right. It's still going to take 8 battles, which isn't a lot, I guess, when you think about it. But that's the upper echelon.
Hey, 8 battles for most people, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Meaning for most people, as in like your games last 8 minutes, 10 minutes, as opposed to you're just steamrolling the opponent in 3 minutes and queuing up for another one right away.
Echelon pilots, right? Going out with their ground attackers and their bombers, and that's what you're going to want to do. Don't use multi-role fighters. Do not use heavy fighters for this. Be using ground attackers and bombers, and the higher the tier, the better. If you don't have high tier, then just do your grind. You're going to get more ground damage done in a tier 6 or tier 7 ground attacker, for instance, than you will typically in a tier 8 multi-role fighter, for instance. So keep that in mind. If you've got like a tier 10 multi-role fighter, like the F7U, for instance, a tier 10 multi-role fighter might be able to do a decent amount of ground damage if you've only got a mid-tier ground attacker or bomber, but otherwise use those GAs and bombers.
Yep.
Mission 8, destroy 50 enemy aircraft while defending sectors.
And once again, I'll repeat it. You want to get your defensive kills when it's convenient towards winning the match, that it achieves the outcome of winning the match, or the match is already lopsided in your favor and you can afford to defend. The reward is kind of nice for that one. 10 emergency engine cooling. That's one of the very OP consumables. It respawns after 49 seconds or so, usually is the count you see once your boost expires. It resets a count about 49 seconds. It's 60 seconds total, but from the time you pop it. So the time during which it's active actually counts towards cooldown as well. Plus, what's really nice with it is if you die, it resets. So that can be really, really handy in a scenario where you just popped your thing, get killed right away, and then have to respawn and spend precious seconds getting to a sector. It can definitely make or break, change the outcome of a game.
Again, this isn't any number of battles, of course, because just defeating 50 enemy aircraft to be substantial in one battle. So this is while defending sectors. So where we were talking before about earning those capture points, you need to make sure they're in the sector when you kill these enemy aircraft. So they obviously can't be the white aircraft that are in the sector before it's captured by either side.
Yeah, what I wanted to add to that point is the bot players have a tendency to be excellent at leaving the sector when you start shooting at them. It's like they know what you're trying to accomplish, and they're going to try every which way to sabotage you. Knowing that, let them penetrate the sector before you attack them. Don't go after them where they've just entered the edge of the system. They will find a way to get out most of the time. So let them get in. Once they're too far to turn back and get outside the sector before you kill them, and then that's when you go after them. Of course, you have to balance that with not allowing the ally bots or even human allies to steal your lunch and get all the kills before you start shooting at them. But yeah, there's ways to do that. Find your own sector, ideally, where there's no other human players to cause interference. You're probably more helping your team more if you're the unique human player in your sector than if there's two of you in the same sector doing the same job.
It has to be a blue sector, and you have to kill aircraft that are coming into the sector, and they have to die inside that sector. There's been many times where, you know, I'm attacking something inside of a sector, and it pops out of the sector right as I kill it. Well, if it's outside the sector, you're not killing the enemy aircraft while defending the sector. It's technically outside the sector, so it doesn't count as a defense. Make sure you're killing it inside the sector. That's going to count towards your 50. Mission number 9, destroy 25 armored sections of ground targets in a single battle.
Looks worse than it is. Get a shitty little supply crate as a reward, whatever. 25 armored sections of ground targets. Think about it this way. It's 13 anti-air gun encampments, not the 15-point ones that are all tents, but the ones that either have an armored, like square-shaped icon section on each side, or two together for the type of anti-air guns that shoot lower altitude. Which are the ones, by the way, that are a little bit easier to kill because the armored sections are together in a pack. So much easier to get the both of them with one bomb or 2 rockets than if you have to get the type that has the armored sections at each end. Now, of course, there's plenty of other types of ground targets that have armored sections. Some of them have more than others. The 50-pointer at a mine, for example, has 6. So it's 4 of these ground targets plus an additional armored section. Think about it this way. So it's really not too bad. That should be fairly easy to complete for most players, even if you don't necessarily have a super high tier bomber or a GA, can probably do that in something like an A26B, a PE2, even the AR2. If all you can do is tier 4, you'll be able to complete this, no problem.
This you're going to want bombers or ground attackers. The good thing is it's just armored sections of ground targets in a single battle. It doesn't matter what tier. You're not doing a threshold in HP. Keep in mind, it does need to be armored sections, so you can't be just attacking the tents. AA guns are not going to count towards this. They're not armored sections of ground targets, so it needs to be those heavier duty targets. Bombers tend to be really good at this, just because, you know, bunch of bombs. Ground attackers are reasonably good at it, but bombers tend to be the better option for this type of mission. Plus, you get a supply crate out of it. Nice. Personally, like the premium consumables, I don't really use all that often, except on, like, honestly, the meta planes that everybody and their brother's trying to kill. Sometimes I need that extra little bump when it comes to, like, emergency engine cooling and things of that nature. But typically, I just sell those. Okay.
Also, to me, the gold consumables, they convert to a higher win rate than the regular silver consumables, because they're just better. So why leave that advantage on the table? I'm not sure. Just take every advantage the game gives you. They give you these gold consumables. Use them. Your gold, or whatever you get out of selling them, is unconverted potential. It's just sitting in a dragon horde and not being converted to you winning more games. And the way to do that to convert your resources is to spend them and use them in game, especially towards things that win you more games. Getting a new plane won't win you more games. In fact, if you have to grind it to specialize it, you have to grind the upgrade parts that you don't have the free XP for, you're probably going to lose more games with that plane than you would if it's fully specialized and equipped all the way to 478 on every part. So knowing that, hold off till you have the free XP to buy at least all the upgrades on a new plane, and do things like I have no planes left I can buy with gold. I have them all, so I use my gold, I keep it, I squirrel it away until there's a sale on gold consumables, and then I spend it all on gold consumables, and I use them on almost every consumable, almost every game. It's really those small advantages that compound to a big advantage when you have 12 of them.
Get extra money out of it. Mission 10, receive the Flying Vanguard badge. The Flying Vanguard badge is completable in a multi-role fighter, bomber, or a ground attacker. To get this badge, you need to capture 5 sectors in a battle. You can die, whatever you need to do. Obviously, the battle needs to last long enough for you to capture 5 sectors, but it needs to be in a ground attacker, bomber, or a multi-role fighter, and you can earn the Flying Vanguard badge. And you get a credit boosters, which is really nice. See, this is what I'm talking about. You're halfway done with the missions, and maybe you don't get the pilot, but you're getting these extra boosts, which is going to be nice. So mission 11, deal 80,000 HP of damage to aerial targets in any number of battles. So like the 65,000 previously, you just want the highest tier, typically heavy fighter that you can get. Fighters will be fine, multi-role fighters will be fine, but heavy fighters are going to be the best for this. And it's aerial targets. So attacking those bombing runs, you're going to get a lot of HP knocked out by attacking bombers and ground attackers. Those are the high HP targets. And it's any aerial target. So it doesn't necessarily need to be an enemy aircraft. It can just be any red or white aircraft is going to be good. Mission 12, participate in capturing 24 sectors in any number of battles. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to that. Yeah, and literally any aircraft. So if you're just grinding, I don't know, the yak line.
Yeah, you're not going to change your playstyle much if you already have an optimal playstyle for that one. Just if you would be defending when you have 4 sectors and then the enemy has 1 normally, then go after the last sector. Get all the sectors you can. And keep in mind too, you don't need a lot to be credited with a sector captured. You can get just 15 capture points from a null tense ground target, and if that sector flips blue, you'll get credited with it. You don't need to be in it when it flips. You just need to have contributed to the capture points for it.
You can still grind the yak line.
Oh, you can even die, and if the sector flips long after you've died, it will count. When it doesn't count is when it flips red first and then flips back blue. If before it flipped red you contributed capture points, and that won't count. It has to be flipping blue the next time it flips for it to count in your count. And there might also be, I'm not sure about this, but there might also be a time limit. Let's say that the game lasts the full 12 minutes and there's a sector you hit for 15 capture points 1 minute into the game, and it flips at the end of the 12 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's not going to count. There seems to be maybe it's 3 minutes, I'm not sure, but there seems to be a period of time after which it resets and you don't count anymore.
You're going to capture sectors just by doing your normal thing, right? So 24 sectors in any number of battles, you can do it. Mission number 13, receive the Rocketeer honorary rank. Wow, that's what they call it now. A Rocketeer is going to be when you destroy an enemy aircraft with your rockets. There are aircraft completely built towards doing air-to-air combat with rockets. That's going to be things like your Batwing, your BVP 210, which is actually the plane after this at tier 8. Your BVP 210, which I absolutely love for getting Rocketeers. The 212 is really good at it as well at tier 9. And there's some other aircraft as well. The F-94D. We've also got the BVP 215, which is less good at it.
One of the ME-262s as air-to-air rockets. I don't remember if it's the 8 or 9. It's definitely not the 10. But yeah.
Even though it's got 1 million air-to-air rockets.
I kind of like the tier 10 Batwing personally. It's bulkier. It's got a decent turret. And though they reload a lot slower, the air-to-air rockets are, I think it's a load of 8 sets. They get a lot of chances. Let's say you're going after Golubev, the Rocketeer is just 1 kill, but Golubev is 3 kills and win the match. 3 kills in the same sortie, that is. That's a good one to go for it in. The only problem is you get to tier 10 and then the bots get smart. They don't go head to head against the Batwing anymore in tier 10. Not very often. So you'll have to count on humans to do that. And the humans are also higher skilled. So you get a lot more opportunities for it, in my experience, in tier 8.
But just because those planes I'm talking about, F-94D included, are built for air-to-air rocket and those kind of capabilities, any plane that has rockets on it is going to have the ability, so here's the F-94D, is going to have the ability to get a Rocketeer. It's going to be more difficult. These are air-to-ground rockets, but I've taken out aerial targets with air-to-ground rockets. So
the secret to hitting an air target that's coming head-to-head towards you when you're using air-to-ground rockets is to not shoot straight at the plane. Go a little askew, just a tad, because your rockets are flying straight out and they're under your plane. So they'll go, the dispersion just works out if you're aiming straight at the plane, that they go over and up and under the target a lot of the time. So if you just go a tiny bit down or a tiny bit up, you're more likely to hit, in my experience, than if you go straight.
So that's all you've got. It takes some finagling. Typically, it's easier to do that against ground attackers and bombers because they're less maneuverable.
They also have more hit points, so you're less likely to kill the target with your rockets, even if they hit. A more fragile, like light fighter, for example, if you do manage to hit them, which is a lot harder, granted, will die most of the time from a single rocket hit.
But
so basically, if you're going after a GA or a bomber and you want to finish it with your rockets to get the Rocketeer, wait till it's pretty low health to start hitting with your rockets.
You got to do what you got to do if that's all you've got, right? So good luck with that. But just 1 Rocketeer. You don't need to get anything crazy. And that's one of those missions. So yeah, a Rocketeer you get in 1 battle, but you know, if it takes you 5, 10, 12 battles to do it, so whatever. You get an advanced collimator sight out of it, so it's worth it. Mission 14, destroy 30 enemy bombers in any number of battles. This can be difficult.
Yes.
Because I don't think enemy bombers counts as those bombing runs that are going by.
The bomber flights
You've got to get the actual enemy bombers. And at high tiers, that's suicide. Really, tier 8's going to be difficult, but tier 9 and tier 10 bombers are just like, no, right? It's not what I want to do with my life.
So he's talking about the human ones that have a nicely specialized and built up a bomber. The bot bombers, even in tier 10, are pretty squishy. Not squishy as in, easy to destroy, but a little bit wimpy as far as how much damage the turret does. It can still hurt you. Don't get me wrong. If you've got 10 hit points left, and you're going after a bot heavy, or a bot Effie, I mean, you're going to die for sure before you kill it. So don't do that. But if you're full health and you're going after an Effie that's full health, let's say in a Saber, you're going to be able to take it down if it's the bot kind. It's the human kind, not so much.
So with this mission, actually, you're going to want to go the lower to the tier, the better, because the lower the tier the bomber, the more susceptible it is to your attack.
That's good advice.
Mid tiers are going to be great. There's a lot of good tier 5 and tier 6 heavy fighters, which is what you're going to want to take. Heavy fighters have the altitude performance typically, and the strong enough guns to take out enemy bombers without too much worry. So I'd aim for tier 5, tier 6. It can obviously be done at tier 4 and tier 7. But tier 5, tier 6 is going to be the sweet spot for doing this mission. And it's going to take you a while. Think about it. There's typically only 2 bombers per side. And even if you knock out the bombers twice each, it's 4 times each battle. It's going to take you 8 times to complete this mission. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, and I can do math. Receive an Akamatsu medal. One of my favorite medals. I think this is the one I've got like the most of. This Akamatsu is a fighter-only medal. This is a medal that you can earn by getting, I think it's 400 capture points in a sortie. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. I'm doing it off the top of my head. That means you can't die. You can die, but then you have to restart.
I have 1,297. Yeah. It's the trick to the Akamatsu is avoid other human fighters. They're going to see you, another human, and you're going to be the prime target. So focus on getting ADAs, enemy aircraft that are piloted by bots, and stay out of the sectors where the human enemies are on the other team. Yeah, and obviously be a lot more aware of when you're getting shot at, and don't just take it. Veer away from the line of fire when you realize you're getting shot at, and do it as soon as possible. If you're shooting at a target and you're letting someone else shoot you down while you're doing that, then you're not going to earn an Akamatsu's often doing that kind of thing. So let go of your target. You'll come back to it. It's more important to survive than to get immediate capture points. So focus on survival.
And remember, capture points are both attack and defense. So I typically am able to earn this by actually defending sectors. You capture a couple sectors, you get those capture points, and you can defend a sector. And as long as the enemy captures a little bit and you defend and get those capture points back, you can get an Akamatsu.
Once again, we talked about that earlier.
I'll probably get that in maybe 2 battles at the most. Mission 16, earn 120,000 personal points in any number of battles. That's just going to take a long time. And man, if you're only getting 4, 5, 6,000 personal points per battle, it's going to take a while, right?
Sounds so sad when he says that. Sorry, if you only score 6,000 personal points a game. Sorry, that was a time where both Monkey and I just scored 6,000 personal points a battle. There's absolutely no problem with that. I'm just poking fun a little bit there. But yeah, it's going to take you longer. So obviously, if you're a newer player, you're gonna benefit more from the advantage that a special pilot gives you. So it might be worth it for you to spend a little bit more time than you would normally playing, as long as it doesn't interfere with life, obviously. Those premium things you get early on in your career, so to speak, first of all, you'll use them for longer over their lifetime, because you're just at the beginning of the amount of total hours you're going to put into the game until you stop playing it, or it goes offline, God forbid. I think
even if you're getting 6,000 personal points per battle, that's going to be 20 battles if I'm doing the math properly. So it's just keep plugging along, do your normal grind is what I would recommend.
Yeah, and don't change your playstyle to score more personal points. If I see you in central airbase camping the sector the whole game, while the enemy has the other 4 sectors, and I'm on your team, I might say rude things about you on my stream. I'm just saying.
If I'm going down a certain line, just keep going down that line. If you've got a plane that you're just substantially better at than every other plane, and you're always knocking out 15,000 personal points in a battle, hop in that one if you just want to hop and get this mission done sooner. But otherwise, these kind of missions with the personal points, just do your normal grinding. If whatever line you're going down, do the grind.
Yep.
Mission number 17, destroy 4 enemy aircraft while attacking sectors in a single battle.
Not too bad.
So keep in mind, this is enemy aircraft. This is not those white or even the defending aircraft that are normally there, right? This is the actual spawned enemy aircraft. And you have to get them while they're in the red zones. Actually, it could be in a white zone, I guess, technically. while
Yeah.
attacking sectors, so in a single battle. You've got to be the aggressor. So this is going to be...
So what helps with that is going to the sectors that are on the enemy's side of the map, so the side closest to their spawn point. Typically, a certain amount of bots will maybe not exactly lemming train, but they will go to that sector to try to defend it if there's if you're in there trying to cap it. Not universally true, but most of the time it is.
Really good for this is going to be really good for any, like, fighters are going to be fine for it, but it's going to be purpose built for heavy fighters and multi-role fighters to a lesser extent. You can technically do it in bombers and ground attackers. Typically you're trying to avoid confrontation when you're in those types of planes, but I mean, hey, if you're that good at killing enemy aircraft while you're in a sector and a ground attacker, it can be done for sure. Mission 18, Flying Raider Badge. Flying Raider Badge is a multi-role fighter only badge, I believe. And you need 300 capture points, basically. As long as you are destroying enemy aircraft, air defense aircraft, and ground targets while you're attacking a sector. So this flying...
Defense does not count for this, so only white or red sectors count.
Flying Raider is not a defense capture points earning item. It's while attacking. You're being the raider. I mean, look, you get some nifty uprated engine. Mission 19, destroy 4 enemy heavy fighters in a single battle. So again, this is enemy aircraft, the spawned aircraft, and heavy fighters. There's typically 2 per side. So you'll have to, kill those 2, have them respawn, and kill them again. You get a steel supply crate, which are pretty nice.
So if you happen to get a bot game, don't hesitate to go spawn camp. Red teams spawn after you've killed the 2 enemy heavy fighters. Just go right to their spawn. You know where they're going to respawn, unless there's an airfield or an airbase that they've already flipped. But otherwise, you know where to find them when you need to get your 3rd and 4th kill, right? So don't just let them spread throughout the map and then have to run from one end of the map to the other. It's not too hard to get 4. I've seen missions where there was like 9 of a type in a single battle, and frankly, I was already pretty advanced into my progression and my skills when that happened a few years ago. And I had to use certificates because I wouldn't have gotten it anyway. It was just impossible to do unless you get the perfect bot game that lasts long enough where you can get the two copies of the type you need and then go spawn camp them right away. That was the only way to do it. With 4, you can probably get away with doing it as you would normally. But if you're struggling with it, try to find a tier where there's no human players. If you have lucky enough to get a bot game, don't hesitate to spawn camp. Don't do it against human players, though. That's unethical. It's really kind of a dick move, and will cause some people to uninstall the game. And we don't want to, make an already pretty small player base even smaller by being jerks to everyone.
And it can be done. Typically you want an aircraft that you're good at, that's a good anti-heavy fighter aircraft. There's some really fast fighters out there that are purpose built for taking down heavy fighters. But more often than not, you're taking out another heavy fighter to take out that heavy fighter. So yeah, but whatever works best in your hand. And the last one is receive the Doolittle Medal, which is an odd one to have as your 20th mission, to receive a pilot for multi-role fighter, because it is a bomber only medal.
Doolittle is 400 points from ground targets only. Only ground targets count. So if you're getting kills with your turret, those do not count towards the Doolittle.
Doolittle is a sortie medal. That means you need to earn 400 capture points in a single sortie while in a bomber. If you die, it restarts. So as long as you die early on, you've got enough time typically to earn those 400 capture points. Then you'll get Emma Vogel, and you get some extra bonus on the boosts as well. Not a whole lot of time to complete this mission. That's kind of about it, in my opinion. If you haven't started, I'm recording this on the 14th. This video is going to post on the 15th. You should start sooner rather than later, just so you can get ahead of it, right? But they're not impossible by any means. There's really nothing here that's this crazy, like, oh, this one mission is going to take me forever. The only one really for me that's going to take a long time is probably the Doolittle, but there's much better bomber pilots out there than me. The rest of them are just going to be either just time consuming, like 800,000 damage to ground targets, or yeah, that's really, yeah. Anyway, so nose to the grindstone, you'll get through it. If you don't get the pilot out of it, it's fine. You can at least get these bonus rewards, and that's definitely good. But if you do want to get the pilot, if you're trying to get Emma, who is she? What is she? Well, she's the pilot for the FW-190 Dora. She has 5 skill points right out of the gate. One is the FW-190D Master, so this replaces the Protection Expert skill and includes those bonuses. Plus, you get plus 10% boost duration, plus 10% range to the forward firing armament, plus 40% effect of equipment that helps the aircraft HP and resistance to critical damage.
In my opinion, pretty helpful. So let's say you have 800 meters range, all of a sudden now you have 880. But typically, range bonuses only apply to the suboptimal part of the range. I'll show what I mean here. So if you go to any plane, you see 680 is the ideal range where you're not losing accuracy anymore. Past 680, between 850 and 680, it's a lot harder to hit. You're going to have a much lower hit percentage, and typically the bonuses only increase that range between 680 and 850 for this particular plane. It does not apply to the optimal smaller range. That's the only downside of it, but it's still a pretty big advantage. You know, you can hit your enemy from further out. That means there's a range at which you start being able to hit them and they can't hit you, and that's huge.
And it's only good for the FW-190D, so it's only going to work when she's in this particular plane. The other one is a high altitude maneuvering, which works on any plane that she can pilot.
Yeah, for me personally, especially, granted this is a multi-role, so not terribly good altitude performance. I'm not a big altitude freak. I know there's a lot of people who think altitude is very important and you shouldn't try not to bleed your altitude, and that's true in real fighter combat, in real life for sure. But if you play a style like mine, you're up and down all the time. I spend a lot of time at low altitude going after GAs because they're easy prey. They typically don't hurt you back too much. They take a little while to gun down, so they have a lot of hit points, but they're big targets. They're hard to miss. Plus, your light ADAs are prime targets to flip sectors. Yeah. So I'm not sure this is, you know, the best special pilot for my particular style of play, but everyone has a different style. You'll find some people who it's going to be their best special pilot, I'm sure of that.
This skill replaces the standard eagle-eyed skill. It gives you 10% acceleration in a dive, plus 10% controllability in a dive, plus 5% maneuverability in pitch, and minus 5% stall speed, so it can actually go a little bit slower.
Well, pretty unnoticeable. Let's say your stall speed is 200 kilometers an hour, minus 5% is going to make it 180. No, yeah? No, less than that. 5% of 100 is 5, so yeah, 190. That's not a big difference, honestly. It's probably be very lucky to get into a situation where that makes a difference between stalling and not stalling, and as a result, you don't die when you would have died otherwise. That seems pretty unlikely to me. What I also don't like about the universal skill is that it replaces the standard eagle-eyed and does not give you that eagle-eyed vision bonus. I care about vision a lot. I want to see my enemy before he sees me. So that to me is a little bit of a downside of it. But again, really depends on your style.
So what does all this mean? So for survivability, that means anything that we're using survivability to boost HP or the survivability of the engines or the pilot.
It gives a great explanation of the mechanics of the... You don't have to have an armored part for the... and he's going to explain this, but just to put the emphasis on it, you don't need to have a part that is armored, like a reinforced airframe or cockpit armor, for the bonus to apply, because there's plenty of parts that have bonus characteristics that, even though the part itself, the base characteristics, don't apply to armor or hit points, or sometimes even make those characteristics worse. They have bonus characteristics that the bonus applies to. It also applies to pilot skills that give you these bonuses, and it applies to penalties. So your penalties, let's say you get a minus 20 hit points for a part, well, it's going to become minus 15 instead. I think it's 5%, right? No, it's more than that, but whatever the percentage is, yeah, you get my point.
Is going to be boosted by that 40%, right? Standard
40%,
HP,
wow.
I'm showing at 340. I've got mine built for speed. I've got the collimator sight on here. I'm probably going to keep the collimator sight on here. And same with the engine. I'm going to keep the boost mixture. I don't see any...
That is probably exactly the build I would have, down to the consumables.
reason to have the...
I would use a gold one, so obviously we've had that discussion a bit earlier, but yeah, same ones otherwise.
armor protection for it, just because the engine's not getting knocked out all the time. Nothing on the guns is survivability based, so the only thing that could really be changed out would be, instead of the polished skin that I've got on here, maybe going with air reinforced.
Or your lightweight wing frame. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm more sure than I'm not, that lightweight wing frame has a few bonus characteristics that you can get with them that are affect armor. Plus it takes a hit point penalty, which is lessened by 40%. So definitely consider the lightweight wing frame if you use maneuverability a lot, especially.
First airframe. Now if I click on here, I've got a bunch in the depot. Let's just say I put on here the advanced reinforced airframe. That's plus 10% to the HP, plus 10% resistance to fire, and plus 10% to the tail's resistance to critical damage. All that gets a 40% buff, meaning that instead of plus 10% HP, it's actually going to be plus 14%. Plus 14% resistance.
Hello, Imperial Reckon. You're next player, I take it? Well, hopefully we're convincing you to get back to it.
Fire, plus 14% tail's resistance to critical damage. And that's pretty significant. 10% HP would be adding 34 hit points to this. 14, you're going to be adding like 40, 42 points, something like that. And that can make or break your plane. Is it more valuable to you than the airspeed like I've got mine set up for? That's going to be really up to you. I'm certainly going to mess around with it to figure it out. But the other things that are helpful, you get an extra boost duration. You get the extra range of your forward firing armament. That's going to be helpful in happening no matter what. So even if I don't leverage the 40%, I'm definitely going to be getting a boost out of this.
And remember, if you have the pilot skill aerodynamics expert, the pilot's boost to speed and maneuverability parts will apply to that 10% boost duration, because it applies to pilot skills as well as parts. So it applies to all bonuses and penalties. So it can compound into, 2, 3, 4 additional seconds, depending what the base amount of seconds is. So that can be pretty interesting if you can manage to leverage that a lot with your playstyle.
And then if I do, even though I'm losing out on some speed from the polished skin, I still get more boost duration. So, it might balance it out. And everything else that you've got going on here with the helps of the maneuverability and acceleration beyond that even, it might just be better to have survivability boost with Emma on here. So yeah, there you go. We've got the Soaring Eagle going on right now. Today
right,
is...
Well, the rest is just as outro. If you want to watch the rest, I put the link in the description. If you got any enjoyment or learned anything from this video, please go give Postal Monkey's video a like and subscribe to his channel. Thank him very much for making the video. A couple of points we disagreed on. It's not that I think he's wrong and that I'm right. It's just every player has his own style, his own particularities, and what works for one might not work for the other. And then there's the one little thing, factoid, that we're going to verify about when blue sector is full and no capture points have been removed, whether a defensive kill still counts towards your personal count of capture points. He thinks it does not, and I am pretty sure that it does. So that's the only one little thing to correct. Otherwise, super good video. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty thorough analysis full of good little tips and tricks. So he's got a great production quality to his videos. I've always liked Postal Monkey's work a lot. So yeah, give him your subs and your likes. Yeah, before we start playing, one other thing I wanted to do, and this is more for YouTube than anything else. I'm going to chop that up into a separate video. We're just going to take advantage to go through that. For the AMD graphics cards users out there, I wanted to go through my Adrenalin settings so that if you want to try out my settings, see if it works better for you than what you're using now, you can do that. So first of all, I have a 1440p monitor. I play World of Warplanes at 1080p. If that's your case also, playing at 1440p is a mistake. It's even a bigger mistake to play it at 4K. The game is designed to be played at 1080p. Your targets get smaller the higher the resolution you use, because it does not scale. So you're making your own life harder by going a higher resolution. Then, of course, RSR, super resolution, super handy when you're playing at a lower resolution than your monitor's native resolution. I have the sharpen effect fairly high at 90. You might prefer to put it a bit lower than that, maybe 80, if you're not into super sharp visuals like I am. And then I have, of course, anti-lag on. I have that for every single game I play. Why not? If you're not using super resolution, then you can use Radeon image sharpening instead. Again, I would use it at 90, but 80 perfectly fine. Then we have enhance sync enabled. Anti-aliasing method is multi-sampling. We use application settings. That means it's on. Do not turn on morphological anti-aliasing. It's going to make, give you jaggies, look real weird. And anisotropic filtering is on at max. I have an RX 6800, just for reference. If you've got a weaker graphics card, let's say a 5600 XT or something older, a 5800, or a 580, I mean. Even a 590, I suggest maybe taking down the anisotropic a little bit so you get better frame rate. There's going to be more juice left on your card, basically, to give you frames instead of improving filtering. You should worry about your frame rate before you worry about filtering, especially that it's a game that struggles to give us a decent frame rate a lot of the time, particularly when you're in the middle of the map. Texture filtering quality, I used to use a 6600 XT before I got the 6800, and I used to put that on performance. So to give you an idea, now I put it on high because I get enough frame rates that I want better visual quality instead of better performance. That's highly personal. Surface format optimization allows the driver to override the application and choose a more optimal texture format to improve performance. Typically has minimal impact on image quality. Notice they don't say no impact on image quality. So given I have a good enough card to go for quality over performance, because I get enough performance as it is, pretty much max out my monitor's refresh rate of 165 Hertz most of the time, unless I'm in the middle or a busy sector, then, frame rate goes down, obviously, but I have that disabled. You can enable it if you prefer to go for a bit more performance. Tessellation mode should be AMD optimized. There's no reason to turn that off or use another setting, in my opinion. OpenGL triple buffering doesn't really apply to DirectX 9, which is the engine for World of Warplanes, so leave that off. Finally, AMD FreeSync I have set to AMD optimized. That does introduce a bit of screen flickering for me in the hangar, not in game though. So I keep it on because I'd rather have my refresh cycles timed with the monitors when I'm playing the game than not have flickering when I'm in the hangar, where obviously visuals matter a lot less. And that's about it. Other than that, you know, performance tuning, that's just general settings, but here are my settings for my 6800. It's a fairly aggressive overclock, but a good undervolt. The card never goes above 75C in a gaming scenario, maybe 80C if I do a benchmark test. So that's it for my Adrenalin settings. Hope that's going to be useful to some people. And let's get into the game now. All right. Let me turn on my keyboard cam. And before we get started, we're going to review our missions. We've got, first of all, lightning fast attack, which was top 3 in destroyed air defense aircraft in your combat group. I've already finished all tiers. We're going to get a new one tomorrow. Then I have agility or might, destroy the required number of aerial targets while defending sectors in a single battle. We have 6 to do in one battle in period 1. Other periods are finished. And then finally, for 10 tokens, we have commendation, become the top player in your combat group by the number of destroyed aerial targets and the required number of battles. With 7, we have 6 done in period 1, 3 done in period 2, and 5 done in period 3. That earns us 10 tokens once again. Fairly easy mission for me. I like getting that one. It's not too hard. I get getting top player in your combat group for something might be difficult for some players, so you might want to choose to refresh that and get something that's more appropriate to your skills if you get it. But for someone who's usually top scorer on his team, it's fairly easy to complete for me. And you know, just keep with it. You'll get there eventually. I believe everyone is capable of becoming a 60-65% player, and then more if you have more natural talent at the game. And you can even achieve, without necessarily super great talent, even better than that by just cognition, by just knowing the game better than everybody else, by knowing what your role is, what to do in certain situations, having great tactics. I see plenty of players that have excellent mechanics but very poor tactical sense. They do things that don't make sense when you consider that you should be trying to win the game. They're doing things that are very impressive, but they're not helping their team move closer to victory necessarily. So a game with a fairly small player base. Most of the players, especially nowadays, there's a bunch of new players, are not very good, frankly. So it's not that hard to get like dominant level good at this game. You just have to stick with it, watch some videos like you're doing now. That's how I got good, really, by other people helping me. Not that I'm like the best or anything, but you know, you look at my results and objectively I'm usually on page 1 on the 4 weeks, page 1 on the 7 days, and often top 10. And I'm still creeping up in the overall. I think I'm 186 now, and I gain a position every few days, and I will never make it to page 1, but I might make it to top 100, maybe like page 4. That is possible, but mathematically, with the amount of games I have played, I'm not going to make it to page 1 ever. Alright, so our Emma Vogel mission currently is 800,000 hit points of damage to ground targets in any number of battles. We haven't gotten any progress on it. That's something we need to do in tier 10, maybe 9, but really it's going to go a lot faster if we go with GAs and bombers in tier 9, as discussed during Also Monkey's video. Just gonna make sure my FE is painted. It is. started. And now we're into the video, and we're just starting to play now. It's nuts. Never done that before. I hope the format was interesting, that you got something out of it. If you got any feedback, comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment. If you're watching it on Twitch, you can just tell me in the chat now. I'm just going to write down the timestamp that I need to cut the parts out of. Be quick.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
He's still running away. We're back in time. Okay, apostrophe SRFEO45 on the other side, two well-known players. And on our side we have Ninra61 and a specialized Saber. I do not remember ever playing with or against this player, so only what they're capable of. I assume if they have a specialized plane in tier 10, they probably have some amount of skill. Just by force of having made it that far, you're bound to have learned how to win. Some people might think that's a bit of a generous thing to say. There's certainly exceptions. These players with as many games as I've played still sitting in 42-43% win rates. And I can guarantee you one thing: those players have never looked up how to get better at this game. They've never done research. They're just playing the same way they played it on day one, and they don't understand why they lose when they lose. Or they're not playing to win. Plenty of people play video games for all kinds of reasons other than winning. And to assume that someone is trying their best all the time, they might just be trying to, you know, relax. Which sucks when you're a player who's trying really hard to win. You know, they're allowed to be there and have fun and enjoy the game just as much as you are. There's that. I do believe, though, fundamentally, that you should be trying the best you can and know how to win every match. You know, lose on purpose or anything. That sucks for your teammates. Don't quit matches before they start because you think you're gonna lose. Don't do things like that. Other than that, as long as you try your best, can't really be mad at you. We're already getting pretty much run over here. If you notice, we have 51,000 points of damage already, and we only got 2 drops so far. So if he's a monster of the ground target damage, oh, we might be able to help the team finish the middle. It's worth doing. Though the attack flight's gonna hit it. We're there anyway. Yes, Chad. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's the saddest boy who ever lived. His dad won't pay attention to him. Alright. Stop the bleeding. We've got 2 sectors and not that big of a lead. This is still anyone's game.
Enemy
Except they
bombers
look like they're about to
detected.
flip our command
Destroy
center.
them.
That's not going to be good for us at all. Chad, come on, man. I brought you on my desk. I got covered in fur and everything. It's not good enough? What have you done for me lately, Dad?
The enemy is launching
Yeah, there
rockets
we
at
go.
us
That's
from
not
the
good. We
military
need to
base.
take this sector in one
action.
pass here, which
The enemy
it's
has
not going to
captured
happen
the
given
command
that we're
center.
getting
Don't let them
targeted.
gain a foothold.
Just gonna call it. I don't think we're gonna come back in this one. I don't say that very often, but I am smelling an algorithm defeat here. Not that the 262 is not pulling his weight, but it should be closer than this if you just look at some scores. Which is not everything, granted, but look at the bot's performance though. Clear difference between the two teams, and that's been happening more and more lately. That's not good for the game at all. You want all your players to quit, that's how. So hopefully they fix that soon before we lose too many. So it's incredibly frustrating, and I can understand why people would want to stop playing over stuff like that. Nothing worse than having the feeling that there's nothing you could have done to change the outcome of a game. Nothing worse than that. You get outplayed, you get better players than you, who ended up outplaying you. Fair, it happens. I don't like being beat by the algorithm. There's something about that just sits wrong.
A rocket has reached the target. Enemy objects damaged.
We're gonna get him before he gets us. Et voila. We need 60 points so we can hit 4 times anything as long as... He was long dead. So it must have been the anti-air guns that killed us, and it was a short enough amount of time after he damaged us that he got credited with it. That's how that works, but it always feels a bit weird when something kills you that's been dead for 10 seconds.
The enemy is about to win. Push harder. Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over. The military base has been captured by the enemy. Shape up, pilots. There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed.
Let's
Return
get
to
this
base.
after
Do
stalling,
you
and that's
copy?
gonna put the nail in the coffin. There we go. Well, we did score 16,000. It's going to be 17,345 with the end of game bonus. We got 710 capture points. That's a lot. Only 4 sectors, and then but only in brackets. But for the amount of capture points we scored, that's not a lot. Sometimes have 5-6 sectors with fewer capture points than 710. We got 21 ground targets. 112,000 damage to ground targets, a bit more. Change, and we still didn't win the game. That's how it goes. That's just how it goes sometimes. They played well enough to capitalize on a bot advantage. they played at the ME262, for example, not covered me the couple times he shot me down when I was about to take a sector. This might be a different game right now. So it's not, you know, one factor that matters more than the other, but it's definitely part of the analysis to recognize that their bots did tremendously better than us. So we would have had to play that much more better than them to be able to beat them, and we just did not. Alright, well, it's okay. Sometimes you lose some. It's just always a bit irritating, those types of games, those types of losses when you're sitting pretty high on the Hall of Fame because you know it's going to knock you down a few positions. But, you know, there's this Hall of Fame on the internet for a video game that about 2,000 people play, and the Hall of Fame is about 20 people who look at. And feeling negative emotions over that is a bit silly when you put it in perspective, you know. There's wars in the world and stuff, and we're over here sad because we lost 3 positions in the World of Warplanes Hall of Fame. Come on. Don't get bent out of shape about it. It's not a big deal. Mostly talking to myself here. Let's be honest. Okay, just wanted to pin the link to Postal's video. Good start as far as damage to ground targets, though. Above 100,000 per match is as good an average as you can expect, unless you're Sniper Son or some bomber superhero. Hi, Chad. Why don't you climb on, buddy? You have to stay on the floor and make me bend over to touch you. It hurts Dad's back, buddy. Hey, come on in. There you go. Good boy. Stay there.
Attention! You are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Master Corporal and SR Theo again. He's in the FE this time, and we got Commander also in the FE on our side. So there's 2 tier 10s against 1 tier 10, 1 tier 9. Not a fair fight, but we're on the wrong end of these kinds of matches, our fair share, so we're not gonna, you know, refuse the advantage when we have it. Not that we have the ability to do so anyway. Don't know if I shouldn't have started with the mine actually. Let's at least F2 it. Give it some of the old F2. When it's too close, you wouldn't be able to finish it, I don't think. Oh, something died in here, plus the middle didn't go. There we go, finally. Well, we get our missile base before they get theirs, but not by a lot. It's not a significant difference. If it happens within 5 seconds, then usually will make no difference to score even. He's attacking our mine. I know what to do then. I know where he's not and where it might be easier for me to take the sector. I won't be battling with him for ground targets, so we're going to go there instead of going to our own mine. Then if we get killed, well, we respawn right next to our mine, so and give us some options for the next sector we're going to play as well. We really do hope to take it though, otherwise we're going to be playing catch up. Oh, something hit me and took up 95% of my hit points in one shot. Is that the missile itself from the missile base or something? I've always believed that it's basically a ghost and cannot affect players. But some people claim otherwise, so I'm not 100% sure about that or anything. I'd have to watch the replay to see what really happened there. Did not go well. The good thing is our mine is not getting bothered. We did flip it even though SRFO tried to get it, and it's full health still. As much damage to that Jawa as we could. See, this time bots are lightly skewed on our side, and we're having no problem. Dominating this match. Damage the middle, but will not take it down again with bombs. Seems to be a team. We've been low health for a while and managed to survive on that. And we flip the sector. Oh, we get an FM off thanks to that. That's a token. Plus, we've got 90 hit points of ground target damage. That's pretty good. GAs get a little bit less than bombers typically, so pretty happy with that. GG. I think I'm gonna restart my game. It seems my RSR is not working properly. It's a little bit more cloudy, I guess, not as sharp as usual. and it's really bothering me. I'm used to it looking a certain way, and it has happened sometimes. Adrenaline doesn't kick in properly. Just restart the game. There are no AA guns? No, there were plenty of AA guns. Especially the last sector we were in was military base. It's the single sector with the most anti-air guns. You've got your two kinds. You got your low altitude ones that you should prioritize when you're a GA because they're shooting at you typically. And those are marked by a triangle. And then you've got your high altitude ones that tend to shoot more at bombers or whatever is flying above a certain threshold, maybe about 500 meters. Those are marked by a house shaped symbol. Yeah, see, the game is sharper now, isn't it? I don't know if you can see it once it's been rendered or not, but I definitely notice the difference. Oh. Just gonna adjust our stream title. Not stream title, but height width here. I don't know why it's not showing. Range. Okay, well, I don't want to make him wait too long. It doesn't matter. Hello, Burger King, ça va bien? The UAQVBN also lost already. Moi, ça va. Je suis occupé au travail, je travaille fort. Et je suis occupé avec les études aussi, mais aujourd'hui, cette semaine, j'ai un petit peu une pause dans mes études, là, donc j'en profite pour faire un peu de streaming.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Von Beck and King T-Bagger on the other side. Von Beck is a pretty dangerous fella. This unspecialized F7U. Okay. That being said, we have a significant advantage on paper in this match, so it's ours to lose.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
On the other 50s on the other side. I'm gonna have to do a wide turn. We got our 80, nice. We got the 50 too. We don't need the 50. We could hit it 20, but let's get greedy. Score more hit points of damage the bigger the target we hit is, obviously, because it has more hit points. This 2000 here that it's showing is not accurate. Often I notice the My Precious mod, that's the thing that counts all my stats on screen there. The first sector you hit with a bomber does not count towards ground target damage. It counts in the game, but it's not being reported properly to the API through the mod. Yeah, it should save them from taking it, hopefully. We got 80, 30, and 50 all work. Nice. Already up to 320 caps. We need 80 more for Doolittle. Can we do it? Can we Doolittle it? Alright, Chad. You're so patient and well-mannered. There's gonna be something in range. There we go. There's the Doolittle. With the thunder on top. Be able to add a lane if things go our way. Need 5 more ground targets. Here we're probably at around 50,000-60,000 damage, going 40. The hit right between those two, I don't think it's gonna take those, but would give us a lane, so we'll try it. It might work, actually.
We have complete control of the skies. Way to go.
Yeah, it did. Wow, we got the 2 ground targets with the 1 bomb. Nice. Gives us a lang, and it's good that we did because we got killed right after, so that would have killed our chances to get the lang. Now streaming, marche toujours pas sur le Discord. Ouais, I noticed the last time I went live it did not list a post. I don't even know how you get on there. I guess whoever runs the World of Warplanes server has to add you. So don't criticize Wargaming too much if you want to be added to that channel. Would be my advice. Thunder, Line, Doodle. Nice, 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 nice. Very good. Only 1 flight instrument, unfortunately, but almost 90,000 points of ground target damage. But now we're not on pace quite for doing it in 8 games, which I'm surprised too. How does that work? Su-10. Completely different style of bomber. I prefer the FE personally. It's a little bit more versatile. The Su-10 in terms of raw capping power, if you need to take one sector, I would pick the Su-10 any day. It has 8 bombs, of course. You can take any sector easily in one pass. You just have to wait for a long time to get your next reload. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't show my Discord on OBS, my bad. So you can't see when I'm just checking if my announcement made it to the World of Warplanes Discord channel. It's under now streaming, yes. No, the last one that worked was October 13th on the Noble Queue. I don't know how much traffic we get from that. Doesn't bother me too much. I watch my analytics. It's mostly either people looking at the category, World of Warplanes, or people clicking on the link I posted. It's the good thing about streaming World of Warplanes is you're not going to have a whole lot of competition in your category.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
Oakley and Commander both in the FE. That's not good. It's not what you want to see. The first sector. UAQ is already at their command center, so yeah, they're off go to Garrison. Normally would have been heading to the command center, as you saw. Still 24 seconds to go. Excuse me, I'm very tired today. Nice. And we've got the lead, but we've got the 2 worst sectors and the 2 best, so it's not gonna last if we don't keep the pressure on the other 2 sectors. That's the disadvantage of starting on the ST's side of this dig map. I don't know how else to say it. Apologize for being crude, but look at it. Tell me it's not. I like to be a fly on the wall when the designer brought these big maps into the boss's office. Here are the new maps, boss. Thinking boss is not going to notice. Probably boss went, haha, it's a dick, put it in. No pun intended. Oh. That's where UAQ actually is. It's showing him here on the top pressing Alt, but if I press Alt, he's here. So we're gonna go to the... Oh, never mind the flip. We'll just start it at our own point instead of the airbase, which is obviously more dangerous. Still 30 seconds to reload. Decent lead. Maybe should not work that. Alright. This sector is again still awake. Not by much though. I'd have to end early if I keep feeling like this. Jeez. Someone slapped me in the face. My eyes are closing on their own. Oof.
There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own. All positions are captured.
How did they get every sector? Really?
The tide of the battle.
How'd they do that?
Taking control of the airfield.
That's gotta be some kind of a bot. They have one player who they do. Commander there is not honoring the FE to its just value. That's gotta be some heavy bot involvement to achieve that so quick. We got 228s after us. Two of them. After squall line, mind you. Yeah, we died. Okay, we do enough to win this match. We're not even 100 points ahead. They're scoring, they're closing the score by 6 points every 5 seconds. We will need another sector, I believe, which UAQ appears to be working on. The Queen is dead. Okay, that's great. Cap. Maybe he's trying to kill them all. He's not capping. It's not gonna take too long before they catch up on scores, so... Yeah, okay, he's going for a kill inside the sector. Nice. Good. Yeah, UAQ is reliable. He knows what he's doing.
Enemy bombers inbound.
Absolutely.
Don't let them reach their target.
Yeah, and I managed to almost fend them off. One of them veered away. Then the other one veered away too, but then the original one decided to come back. And we win this match by 18 points.
Victory is ours. We're waiting for your return.
I think we deserved it though. Sure, Kokwi got better score than us, but as a team, doesn't look just like chevrons and personal points like they got bot carried, but sometimes a bot carry doesn't necessarily show up in the stats. It can just be the bots cap 3 out of 4 sectors at the same time, or 2 of them, the humans get the other one, or something like that. And that puts you in a position that's so hard to come back from, but we did it. Almost halfway. Ways to do it in about 9 games.
Attention! You are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Oh, go Vegas. FE and 1101 against FE and XF90. It's a pretty fair match. Both the XF90 and the 1101 have their own strengths, and they have more strengths than weaknesses.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's
I think
go.
we're all gonna head to the mine. It's gonna be an all hands on deck situation. Yeah, there's more bots in NA, obviously, so there's fewer humans, so we're gonna get more swings that are attributable to the bots than in the EU server, which anytime a match is decided by the bots, mostly, more than by the humans. Up dies inside a little bit. Part of my soul just goes away and never comes back. It's even way lower than Go Vegas, so our bombs hit before his, and not by a lot, but enough to get us up, obviously. When you know there's going to be another bomber in the sector you're going, you should be pretty low. at least lower than them so that your bombs are first. We seem to have a faster build than he does because we also made it there faster than him. This is not gonna hit. After it unlocks, let's start here. Not gonna flip this before dying, but maybe we can get some progress. There we go. Did my best to wiggle my bum.
Wiggle it.
We just bypass the air base and go to the garrison in this scenario. I'm not going to flip the air base with a bomb drop. We will need 2 or 3 turret kills, which is unlikely. We're more likely to get killed before anything happens. Oof, oof. They're taking the both our sectors very quickly here. So we need an insurance one. That's why I'm going to continue towards the garrison and try to take it.
The enemy has control of
We
all
need to
key
break
objects.
superiority.
You cannot leave it like that.
We missed a 30-pointer. That's okay. There's already plenty of capture points gone. We should still take it. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Flip. Okay, thank you. A second game in a row this happens, just vectors flipping all at once. Yeah, that did begin about 2 months ago. They buffed the bots, and ever since they've been deciding orders of magnitude more matches than they used to. It's unfortunate. Can't imagine being a new player and having to face that now. Doesn't affect the lower tiers as much, granted. It's lower skilled bots. See, and they kill me inside the sector to prevent the mine from flipping. Early bots did that. No human involvement. That's huge. Huge help to Team Red there. Huge help. You see, they get the bonus in 20 seconds now that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Step it up. We're losing the battle.
This is once again being influenced by the bots more than by the humans. Okay, thank God. They do have that mine bonus added to their lead, though. That helps them a lot. 130 points instead of 50. It's a big difference. Good position to come back, though. UAQ is waiting for Galwegas right where he knows he's gonna approach the sector from. Smart. He does not need to be capping right now. Only one red sector left, and I'm on it, so it's going to be interference defense or interception defense. Can we finish the sector by killing this hornet? Probably. Seems like it's close enough. It's getting away very fast, though. No, it gets out of range just in time. We have a really hard time keeping the mine. This is a problem. Though the scores might be high enough that we won't have time to score another mine bonus. Either way. But can we win this without the mine? These sectors might be enough, I don't know. I don't know. It's enough if they don't score the mine bonus, which I don't think they have time for. I think we win this if things stay the same. Chan and busy, buddy.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over. Be advised, the enemy is concentrating forces near the airfield.
This, that was a pretty good job. So we got the 80, and I'm pretty confident we got the 52. Oh, I just heard it blow, and it actually did not get the 50. Plus we get killed by the AAs. But we win the match by 37 points. Another close one. Yeah, that was a pre-programmed loss, right? It felt like that. Thank you. Had to try hard. $135k of damage this time. That brings us back on pace to finish it in 8 total matches. That's good. Not getting any progress on commendation, though, obviously, with thing bombers. We have to destroy aerial targets. I think we're just gonna... FE is probably the best plane to do this, and there's tons of other players flying FEs, so I don't want to willingly disadvantage myself by lining up with the 1102B, which is a great plane, but is dominated by the FE. Just wait a minute, no problem. I'm gonna go adjust the heating. It's not as balls here. And the problem with living in the second floor apartment is your downstairs neighbor control your temperature more than your thermostat does. And I've got downstairs neighbors that like it nice and hot, and I don't. So, oh well, they're pretty quiet and they seem like good people. I'm not going to complain about them, but yeah, I probably shouldn't have closed that. That's my flight mate. We're about to have 18181 victories and 2 victories for now. Well, I say about, that's awfully presumptuous. I hope we are. Approaching 100,000 ground targets destroyed lifetime. Recently we went just above 4 aircraft destroyed per sortie on average. We're stuck at 3 for years. Finally broke past and made it to 4. Aside from that, everything's frozen. What's going on? Game is not reacting. Alright, take care, Burger King. Nice seeing you. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, first on the 4 weeks is impressive. I think I've achieved that once for like a day or two. Definitely helped Thulsa get there 2 times now. But myself, I play too many solo matches. I don't protect my win rate quite enough. Make it to the top. I think I have the skill to do it if I manage my game selection and plane selection optimally. And I'm not saying I would get there and stay there forever, but I think I could get there with a little bit of luck and stay a few days and oscillate back and forth. Not like dominant or anything. But yeah, with the right conditions, I probably could. I just choose to do other things with my playtime, like streaming, which I do solo more often than not. That takes about 10% away from your win rate. I don't only play meta planes, I play them quite a bit. I'll play planes I just like playing. Once in a while I'll do the spin the wheel thing. That costs me a lot of win rate. As F-22 Hunter would say, it's a torture device. I feel a little bit masochist. I bring out the wheel. And then down we go with the win rate. Always fun. It's doing pretty good right now. Usually we wait till the end of the stream to check, but yeah, let's go have a look quickly. Have to hurry though, we're gonna drop. 186th overall. 73.83. 4 weeks, Lincoln is in first. We're up 112 at 90.82. Anything above 90 is tier S in my opinion. Ujinu yesterday, or 2 days before, got 40 matches in one day and won every single one of them. Added 2 yesterday to that count. On the 7 days, we're 93.13, good for 13th. Very respectable.
Area of combat
Results.
operations. Be ready.
Trying to do even better. Loro Plateado. Flying a Falco. Up the Dragist. His
Show me what
teammate.
you can do, pilots.
2-1-2.
Let's roll.
And we'll go the other direction this time. Go east to west. Oof, that was a bit too outside. Don't think we... Oh, that was also very bad. Very bad drop. All 4 drops look very askew. You can tell that I'm not the best bomber player there is. At least we got one of the 50s. They might take this. Speaking of competent, more than competent, speaking of superstar bomber players, hello Fallen Angel, how you doing, buddy? I am busy embarrassing myself this year. Inaccurate bomb drops, barely winning matches. getting destroyed 4 times again by bot heavies, such things. Not looking great here. Our one little blue sector is about to flip red. UAQ is working on the bottom garrison though. There's that. But they're not getting that mine with our first bomb drop is putting us at a disadvantage right now. Zoro is scoring a lot of points in his 11-2 lead, but not doing much of anything helpful. He didn't even play the mine. As far as I can tell, he went to both garrisons. I assume he's the one who just flipped the garrison on the R on the side of the spawn point. Maybe we can snag something on the way there. Nope, not too far. Okay, good angle to approach this from. We can hit the 230s in a straight line pretty much. Anticipate the turn and hit the 220. And should flip it. Yeah, there he is. He's playing the garrisons. That is and a great example. I was talking before I started playing earlier on the stream of lots and lots and lots of players. I don't know if it's like that on the EU server. Definitely NA. Lots of players with great mechanical skills and absolutely no tactical acumen whatsoever. And that's an example of that. He's outscoring us in terms of personal points. He's definitely doing things, but he's not doing helpful things. Not as helpful as he could be, let's put it.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
So you're in a GA and you play first 3 sectors, you're playing our garrisons when there's a mine on the map. There's something wrong. Not the mine, boy! Or plenty of sectors we can play before we stampede our way towards the garrisons. Superiority. And eventually lost the garrisons anyway, because they're easy to flip. They only require 120 points. Both fighters and ground attack aircraft, including that bombers, and get it in one pass, or not in one pass for the fighters, but you know what I mean. They can single-handedly take it without fighters needing ground targets, and vice versa. Anyone can flip the games. It's really only 3 ADAs unless the other team gets a defensive kill. So. Is he at the mine now finally? No, it's the bot that's on the mine.
I'm proud of you, pilots. Head back
I was gonna
home.
go bomb him. Game over though. 74,000, maybe a bit more, because it undercounts. That's pretty good. I don't know, it was counted accurately this time, apparently. So again, we are off pace to finish in 8 games. Not a super big deal, but Yeah, I'm glad we were with UAQ for those 2 matches, because there's no way we would have won either of those matches. We definitely defeated some programmed losses. And there I tried the 1102B. We didn't have FEs the last 2 games, so might be safe. Another option would be drop to tier 9, hope to be up tiered to a bunch of tier 8s. Then if we're down tiered to FEs, assuming they're still around, we're in big trouble, so well, we'll take the chance. I do favor variety over anything else. I like changing planes every game if I can. And I've been spamming the FE, so let's do his little cousins instead. U12 also very playable. Could do a run of the old NC-1070.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
That's a fun one, with, especially when you have Marina and it's change of nation to Soviet. Oh, go Vegas in the ME-329. Okay, he's in a pretty good plane. We are up tiered. We're alone this time though. There's a P-61 on our side. That's a big advantage for us. And their solo tier 9, their only tier 9, is you know, just an average plane. It's playable, but it's no
Get ready for action. Let's
it's not OP by any means. BVP 212. Would put it in B tier maybe. Like being on the board first. Don't like playing catch up. There's a red bomber cramping our style. Yeah, before I even finish my sentence, the second flip. And all of a sudden, 3-1 the sectors. We got the first one, but then they got the next 3. Ay, it's a team tonight. A simultaneous multi-sector flips by the opponents. It's complicating life a little bit. We can't hit the 20-pointer without fail, so we're just gonna keep going straight. 15s, it's better than nothing. We're gonna miss the last one. No, I'm dropping anyway. I want to reload to start. gonna get out of the sector as fast as possible here. Turning towards the inside. And I think we've made it to outside the sector. Good. They still have 3 sectors though. Oh my god. Did you see the difference? I didn't keep it up very long here because I gotta take care of my bombing, but you saw the difference in scores and personal points? Means only one thing usually. I need 30 points. I can only get 20 without taking half an hour to turn around. Try to get turret killed and they refuse to cooperate. Yes. My god. Rough one. Really rough one.
All positions are captured by the enemy. You must turn the tide of the battle.
Yeah. Their bots significantly outperforming ours. Go Eagles does have 3 chevrons, to be fair. That's the best out of either team.
We're losing the battle.
So might not have gotten as many personal points as us, but did more out of the personal points he did get. Not an exact science, obviously, the varying personal points and chevrons and whatnot, but it's a good indicator of what's going on with the match. General rule of thumb.
Turn back. The enemy force is too strong.
Praise be to bot Jeebus. He recognizes what happened. That being said, like he potatoes around the whole game and doesn't get his 3 chevrons, they probably don't win it. So yes, it's a bot carry, but you have to be carryable for the bots to carry you, right? The fact that they were a flight against our team, no flight, that also helps them, but it's just down to them doing the smart thing and flighting up. That has absolutely nothing to do with luck. Okay, I think late enough for me. I should probably leave myself a little bit of time to cut the video to put on YouTube. So I think we're gonna end it there. We're gonna have a closer look at the Hall of Fame before we go, like we do at the end of every stream. We are 73.83, which is the same percentage we started at today, so, you know, could be worse in terms of outcome for the day. Well, so the overall wouldn't change. We already looked at it. Someone wanted to look at the top 5, especially of the 4 weeks and the 7 days that we only went over real quick. So we've got Lincoln Stern, our usual partner in crime, in first on the 4 weeks at 98.39. Gentle Jungle and Voltac tied at 98.14 for second and third. And Baked Blob, measly 0.01 behind in fourth, followed by Hujinu 96.79, who's on absolute fire this week. He's got Desert not too far behind. Tulsa with the same win rate as Desert in seventh. Way to Sarah, who we defeated him the other day. So the only reason he's behind Tulsa is because of that defeat. So we kind of really helped ourselves there. So that's 8th for Way2Ser, then UAQVBN, our earlier flight partner, 93.96. Yours truly is in 12th, top 1 at 90.82. Who else do we see on the stream? Who's on page 1? Orca, 39.25 at 87.11, good for 24th. So just being on page 1, it goes to show you you're winning at least 7 out of 8 games. Very, very impressive. Anything above 80, 85, above 90 is excellent. Above 85 is very good. And on the 7 days, we got Hujinu undefeated in 42. I mentioned that earlier. 3 undefeated players tied for the top 3. Long Gunslinger is second, followed by Gentle Jungle. And then we've got players with defeats on their record, starting in 4th with Big Blob at 98.11. Lincoln Stern is 5th at 96.67, followed by Tulsa at 97.22. Desert in 12th, Barbara's 13th, down 2 positions at 93.13. Over 131 games. We're probably also like playing a bit too many games to protect our win rate. Good way to protect your win rate is select your games more carefully, which entails that you're going to play less. And I'm not willing to do that. UAQVBN is 15th at 92.68. And that's about all the friends of the stream. How did we do yesterday on the 1 day? And we were 26th. The tiebreaker, unfortunately, on the 1 day is the age of the account. Well, on all the periods of time. It's the age of the account, which really should be the amount of games played. But we were undefeated in 14 matches yesterday. How does that compare if we use the games played as the tiebreaker? So we've got Ninja Zero with also 14. Way2Ser with 23. That's definitely very impressive. So we would have been tied for second if we had no nonsense kind of tiebreaker. All right, everyone, I'll find an outro song to play. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's probably a bunch of things I would do that you probably shouldn't. Not mentioning what those things are. POS. See ya. No